Wes, Chris, what's happening, fellas? How y'all doing? T to the M, what's up, Trumpet? How you doing, babe? Everybody's weather treating them right? Kind of warmed up a little bit in Texas today. Not that it's been cold, but it's a little warmer than it's been the last few days. Madwood, Terry, what's happening, baby? How you doing? Hey, those fajitas, not fajitas, Madwood. Those quesadillas look legit. Roddy, what's happening, baby? Roddy, it has to do something with my laptop. My laptop was giving me trouble all day. So tonight I'm on Mama's laptop. So I logged into her laptop on my YouTube. And so here you are. I guarantee you when I go back to my laptop, whatever the issue is going to pop up again. TPC, what's happening, buddy? How are you doing? Mr. Wall, Brett, how are you doing, baby? Good to see you. As usual, we're going to give the peanut gallery a couple of more minutes, man, to settle in before we get started. I trust and hope that everybody is doing really well, man, to start this new year. We're easing back into things. Rick, what's happening? Folks, some of you are going to see that you're now moderators. And I don't understand this program completely because the program accepted some of your URLs and it wouldn't accept others. I don't know why, but some of you are moderators. It's a thankless job. You're not going to get paid, all right? But you're an essential worker. So we're going to make it happen. Double D, how you doing, buddy? So good evening, folks. I just want to welcome everybody back for another episode with Mom and Papa Joe's, man. Sitting back, relaxing. Jovan, how are you doing? All is well. Yes, we did have a very Merry Christmas, man, and the new year has started off well for the most part. Yeah, the new year has started off well for the most part. So today's first topic, after that, the night is opened up. We're going to be talking about cheesesteaks. And I will tell you what brought that topic to mind. Panchuca, how are you doing, babe? What brought the cheesesteak topic to mind is I had a very, very poor cheesesteak a few days ago. And I started thinking about making one. I've never made one before. Some of you are old enough to remember. And I'm saying to remember because I just have not seen this in stores in years. And it's probably because I haven't gone looking for it. Do they still make steakums? Any of you remember steakums back in the day? Mm-hmm. Growing up, those were the cheesesteaks that I used to make. I mean, just a real thin piece of meat. You throw it in a pan and you slap it between two pieces of bread. And you've got a steakum. Do they still make steakums, Roddy? Because I have not gone looking for them, I just don't know. But those are the steakum that I'm accustomed to. TPC and I spoke earlier today, and he was telling me that he's made, and I've watched, I want to say I've watched at least one of his cheesesteaks videos. And he did a very good job. There's an art to cheesesteak. There's a process. There are do's and don'ts, and we're going to hit on all that tonight. And what I'm leading up to is I'm going to do a cheesesteak. I'm hoping to do 2 videos next week, drop 2 next week. But if I don't, the one that I do drop is going to be a cheesesteak. Went through the freezer today, and I found I don't know how long it's been there. Vacuum seal. The vacuum seal looked like it had been recently compromised, so there might be just a bit of freezer damage. So I'm not going to try to cook this steak in the traditional way, but I will be using it for this cheesesteak videos. So let's talk about some of your favorite cheesesteaks that you've had as you've moved around the country. I have not spent much time in Philadelphia, so I do not even know how a Philadelphia cheesesteak tastes. I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. A few years, probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, a cheesesteak place opened up in my local area, about a 10-minute drive from me, and I was hot to try. Couldn't wait to hit it up. It's called Used Guys, which kind of had that Philly flair to it. So once the rush of customers died down, it had been there a few months. I finally went over and I sat down for lunch with a couple of fellas and was highly disappointed. I was thinking to myself, if this is what a Philly cheesesteak is like, then there's nothing to it. TNT, what's up? What's up, Thyron? Good to see you, baby. Good to see you. Let's see who else we got sneak in. All right, we've got everybody here, along with the lurkers. All right, we've got people in the chat, but there are more people watching, so we've got some lurkers as usual. Hi to all the lurkers. Say hi to us. Hey, if you're family in Belize, give me a shout out. I'm giving you a shout out. Great to have you guys. Chicken fried, what's happening, baby? What is happening? So I was highly disappointed with that cheesesteak, but that was years ago. So I've got a nice, it's a bone-in ribeye, pretty thick, about 1 3/4 inches, and that is what I'm going to use. That is what I'm going to use. Bill, you saw that post earlier. It really kind of annoyed me. And, I've seen a few YouTubers with their title, "The Poor Man's Burnt Ends" and this and that. Man, call the meat what it is. If you're cooking a chuck, it's not anybody's brisket. Poor man, rich man, whatever. You're making chuck roast burnt ends. All right, so call it what it is. Hey, that post it took on a bit of a life of its own. Some funny replies, but that's what I love about Facebook and social media, man. That was too funny. Trumpet, remind me not to eat one of your cheesesteak. They're supposed to taste like billy goat. Now, Roddy, I'm all over that. Meat, onions, mushrooms, bell peppers, and there will be the traditionalists that say mushroom does not belong on a true Philadelphia steak sandwich. But when you're making that at home, it is yours. I'm not going to call it a Philadelphia steak sandwich. This is going to be a Papa Joe's steak sandwich, and I'm going to put in it what I want. So if you want mushrooms, and I love mushrooms, then absolutely. Now, one of the things I've never tasted Cheese Whiz. Anyone who has tasted Cheese Whiz, what type of flavor does it have? Is it a bit of a spicy cheese? Is it mellow? What makes it special on a Philadelphia steak sandwich? Cheese Whiz. And I think it's a specialty item. Just like those steakums, I have not been looking for it, so I haven't seen it. Is it sold in regular stores? Because I'm going to do probably at least 2 steak sandwiches, one for mom and one for myself. And I am hoping to do one with Cheese Whiz and one with probably provolone. I know what provolone tastes like, and I like provolone, but I have never had the Cheese Whiz. Brett Wall said he had the best steak sandwich, cheesesteak he had was at the state fair. What made that so good, Brett? What made that so good? TPC, I guarantee you, if and when I hit Philly, the next, I've been to Philadelphia, and it was actually for the Army-Navy game many years ago. And for whatever reason, we didn't get out and get a cheesesteak. Didn't even think about it at the time, many years ago. But if we ever find ourselves in Philadelphia, you can bet money that it's going to be 2 or 3 different of the classic cheesesteak places. D'Alessandro's, Southwest Philly, Joe's Steak and Sodas, Iskibibli's, Frank Steaks. All right, awesome. Thanks for those recommends, TPC. 805, how are you doing, buddy? Brett, that's going to save you some work. And they actually had shaved ribeye at the grocery store the other day. You're going to have to grab some. That's going to save you some work. But like I said, I've got an old ribeye. It still looks pretty good. I won't know until I pull it out of that package and knock some of the ice off of it. But it looks pretty good. But one of the things that all the cheesesteak people say, man, you must start with quality meat. Like anything else, as cooks, we know, it's very important to start with quality meat. Garbage in, garbage out. You're not going to turn a piece of shoe leather into suede. You know what I'm saying? So you got to start with quality meats. And for everything I've heard, ribeye is the best piece of meat for a cheesesteak. Are there any arguments to that? Are there any arguments to that? Roddy, some of these guys don't know who Bob Uecker is. Must be in the front row. You remember those old commercials? Most of the steak sandwiches I've seen do have mushrooms on them. But I'm telling you, what they call a classic Philly cheesesteaks, either with or without onions, WIT. All right, with or without onions, a very important designation. So you've got with onions or without onions, cheese, meat, and some of them won't even offer bell pepper. Some of them won't even offer bell pepper. I'm a fan of bell pepper, love bell pepper. But outside of that, no condiments on a classic Philly cheese. No mayo, That's correct. That is correct, Wes. No mayo. Definitely no ketchup. Definitely no ketchup. So, Roddy, I think you're saying that that Cheese Whiz is a bit like a sharper cheese spread. So when we say sharp, are we talking about like a sharp cheddar with a little bite to it? I'm going to try to find some this week. Or if not, when I get off of here, I might hit up Amazon for some Cheese Whiz, just so I will have that under my belt. You won't find Cheese Whiz right now anywhere. All right. I'll find it on Amazon. All right, TPC, sounds like I was correct. All right, like a sour, sharp cheddar. But what I understand is it complements a cheesesteak very well. Trumpet, man, we were on the same page today, but I did it for lunch with some of that leftover flap steak, that sirloin flap steak that I cooked earlier this week. I made kind of a torta, all right, or an asada sandwich, and it was absolutely delicious. I mean, I didn't have refried black beans and all that stuff, but we were on the same page today. Yeah, I'm hitting my HEB. And I'm in that cheese aisle because I'm a fan of cheese. But I've never seen anything resembling a Cheese Whiz. But I will definitely be paying attention tomorrow. Yes, sir. Trumpet, we got that. No mayo ever. I've seen and heard, even in competition, Trumpet, of people using mayo as a binder for chicken. It supposedly allows the skin to crisp up pretty well. Don't know how true it is. I've never used it. I will keep my mayo for my sandwiches. Trumpet, some gas stations will surprise you. Others will send you straight to the toilet. But every once in a while, you'll run across a gas station with some good stuff. All right. One of the things you don't want to mess with at a gas station is sushi. All right. It will talk to you really quickly. He'll be talking out your butt. Brett, so this is what made that sandwich at the fair so special. Veggies were cooked tender, meat was well seasoned, Cheese Whiz, and mushrooms. I am really thinking that I'm going to add some mushrooms to my sandwich. Now, what would be a great mushrooms? Because there's some mushrooms that cook and they tighten up, they toughen up, and they make kind of for a rubbery chew. What would be the best mushroom that you could put on a griddle or in a cast iron pan or something along those lines to add to a cheesesteak? Roddy, best mushroom for that purpose. All right, so is there such a thing as a Mexican cheesesteak? All right, there. That's the only way you're gonna see jalapeno. Next thing you know, we're gonna have what's the name of the cheese? Queso fresco or cuatilla. How do you pronounce that one? But I'm sure there's a Mexican version. And it's not a torta. That's a different sandwich. Best cut, once again, ribeye. It's a poor man's sandwich. Come on, Brett. Don't encourage him, man. That's going to be a different sandwich. There's a time and a place for jalapenos. But if you're talking about a steak sandwich, I don't know that fits. Yeah, I don't know that fits. Chili relleno stuffed with brisket. That should be interesting, 805. Normally, chili relleno is stuffed with ground meat, right? Ground beef or whatever else ground you want to put in there. Yeah, that should be interesting. Gotta have the shrooms. Throw some jalitos from Dairy Queen. I'm not sure what jalitos are. What are jalitos? Mira este cochino right here, man. Joe, what's up? Trumpet, I kind of thought about that. I'm not the biggest fan of any squeeze cheese, any runny cheese. I always think of getting the runs. But I am going to get some of this cheese, one way or the other. Darnell, what's happening, buddy? How are you doing? Portobello in long strips. All right, I can do that. All right, they don't. I normally don't pay attention to what type of mushrooms I'm getting. But I do like mushrooms. All right. But again, I want a tender mushroom. I doesn't want one that gets really chewy after you cook it. Stupid bear, I know that. Quesadilla. That's what Madwood cooked today. Cojito. I guess one could say that the Mexican cheesesteak is the Mexican version of that the torta is the Mexican version of a cheesesteak. Excuse me. But I think a torta is a totally different animal. Madwood, are these portobellos cooked in San Marcos, Texas? What do you know about San Marcos, Madwood? Aren't you in Iowa someplace? It's called a fried burrito. Panchuco, I am not mad at that. I am not mad at that. And that's one of the beauties of making your own, because you get to do what you want and nobody can tell you anything. If you're going to do a video, just don't call it a Philly cheesesteak. Otherwise, people will come after you. So I'm going to call mine Papa Joe's cheesesteak. I'm not going to have Philly anywhere near my title. Barbacoa Bandits. He said, make it a Texas style with chili con queso. We're going to just jack the damn Philly's cheesesteak, make it our own. All right, jalitos are fried strips of jalapeno. All right, didn't know that. And I don't, I do not remember ever tasting a fried strip. The closest I've come are the bacon wrapped jalapenos, stuffed with whatever. The story about the painting over my right shoulder. With the dog, man, that was our first dog, man, named Pearl, or you talk about the one up top. That is you go to one of those studios where they will dress you in period clothes. And we chose like a Western theme this particular visit. And that's what this picture is all about. It's many years ago. Let's see if I can't get. And I tell people all the time, man, I've been handsome a long time. It's not something that just come on with old age. But that's, of course, the wife, myself, and our daughter back in the days. But not sure if this is the picture you're talking about, but that's us. I don't know how many people put those things on before we did, but this was long before COVID. So it's all good. Trumpet, I love sharp cheddar. I have never smoked one myself, nor have I had any that's been smoked. Cremini mushrooms. Heard of them, have never had them. Have never had them, but I'll look for them. Anybody from the San Marcos area? Can you tell us if Mamacitas is still operational? Mamacitas. Panchuco, who's Bland Blondie? Do I want to know? Oh, all right, Darnell. You're talking about the picture. All right, you're talking about the picture. That's a painting one of my daughter's friends did. That was our first dog, Pearl, and she got hit and killed by a vehicle. And after that, my daughter's girlfriend painted that picture right there from a 8x10 or something along those lines. TPC, you've got a lot of traditional lists in everything you do, man. You stick to the program, and I like that. All right, so if you're going to call it a Philly, now you can call it a cheesesteak and do whatever you want. I don't have a problem with that. But if you're going to call it a Philly, Philadelphians, all right, say it should be this way. I don't have a problem with that. A Philly cheesesteak versus a cheesesteak. That's all it is. Like I said, when you do it, make it your own. Nothing wrong with that. If it tastes good, that's what it's all about. All right, I got you. I got you, D. Oh, that's your wife, huh? Bland Blondie. That's too funny. Is she seasoned challenge? All right. Man, 805 says that 805 says that Mamacita's is permanently closed, Madwood. So that one is out of the question. Yeah. All right, Donnell, it's called a steak and cheese, not a cheesesteak. All right, semantics. I'm not going to get into that. I want to know what it tastes like. We can call it whatever. I'm coming to get it. Sleeper, what's going on? How are you doing? And folks, just in case you missed me earlier, I went through today, man, and I was looking for some moderators for when things need doing. And some of your URLs were accepted by the program. Others were not. I do not understand the rhyme or reason. So you will see that some of you are mods. If you don't want to be a mod, I don't know if you can X yourself out, but let me know and I will remove that designation. Thanks to those of you who are willing to do it. Absolutely appreciate it. All right, another thing I understood is that those onions in your cheesesteaks are not to be caramelized. So those onions should still have a nice bite to them. Yeah, you want some color. Yeah, you want them to be translucent, but you don't want them to soften up to the point where they're kind of mushified. You know what I'm saying? So you still want to have a bite. And I think that would be the same with the bell peppers. I'm a fan of both red and green bell peppers. So you're going to see those in my video next week. Probably drop it either Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the two. There you go. There. These guys are characters, man. All right. Dude, I'ma just stick nothing but trophies back there. All right, that way y'all will leave me alone. Tell him, Wes. Tell him. Yeah, TPC Darnell is in Maryland. That's a hop, skip, and a jump to Philly if he's really interested in a good steak and cheese. Cooking with ENV. Man, you've been scarce the last couple of months, man. What's going on? Good to have you here this evening. Yeah, great to have you. Yeah, have not seen you in a few. Millennial, I'm like you, man. I really like my onions caramelized. And I'm an onion fan, so I will eat my onions anyway. But based on the dish that I'm cooking, you know, if it calls for browning, man, I want them caramelized. If it calls for just, you know, getting them translucent, then I'll do that. So I'll take them either way. But caramelized onions are just so special. Folks, if you've never caramelized some onions, yeah, it's time consuming. You know, you have to stand over that pan that you're caramelizing those onions are in. But there's just so many things you can do with those caramelized onions. You know, they get that sweet, sticky, natural goodness. If you've never put caramelized onions on a grilled cheese sandwich, oh my goodness. All right, it will change your life. Remember, I told you that. Caramelize some onions. Yes, it takes some time. Caramelized onions also freeze well. So you can make a huge batch. And you know, you might You might buy a big bag of onions, 8, 10 pounds of onions, chop them up, and man, it looks massive. But by the time you get finished caramelizing them, it's cooked down to 3 or 4 cups. And at that point, you portion them out, vacuum seal them, and just pull them out of that freezer as necessary. They will kick up any recipe that calls for onions. Try that grilled cheese with caramelized onions. You will not be sorry. TPC, yeah, I like that. But I also like a little color. So I will probably cook them just a little hotter and faster to try to get the best of both worlds. All right, a quick sweat, but I want a quick color as well. But I definitely understand where you're coming from. Chris, how you doing, buddy? All right, ENV, I will have to go check out that video. I currently have provolone in the house. I do not have Cheese Whiz. I was telling everybody I will be looking for Cheese Whiz in the stores tomorrow. And if it's not available in the stores, I can get it here probably in 2 days from Amazon. I've never tasted Cheese Whiz, don't know what it's like. So yes, I am interested. But I will definitely go check out your video with the Cheese Whiz. Thanks for that heads up. Man, Darnell, that's pretty cool, man. So there should be no reason you and Sleeper don't get together and do a collab. 45 minutes apart? That would be too cool. Matter of fact, why not do a steak and cheese collab? Both of y'all get together, man, and each of you do a different cheesesteak. That would be too cool. Folks, I want to see some cheesesteak sandwich, some cheesesteak videos in the next couple of weeks too. I think it's simple enough. They're quick enough. Nice idea. Nice idea, Trumpet. Darnell, make that happen. Yeah, make that happen. Folks, you guys think I'm playing when I tell you TPC has been around. All right. TPC has forgotten a lot more than some of you guys know right now. All right, steak and cheese sold, Hagerstown, Baltimore. Darnell, have you heard of that one? They're shallots. I like shallots too, but they're mild, and there's a place for them. I think in a steak and cheese, they might be a little too mild. I need something with a little more oomph. And for me, that would be some nice yellow and some sweet yellow onions. All right, but the shallots might be a little too mild for me. All right, ENV, man, that sounds good. All right, I will get back to checking you out, man. Like I said, you had gone dark for a few. I know life sometimes get in the way. That is totally understandable. I was speaking to another YouTube guy over the last couple of days. I stopped in on Burnt Ends. You know, he's just completely disappeared, and he just said, man, that he is really tied up with a bunch of different things right now and would really like to get back in the game. But time is not permitting, and that's life. That's what I want to know, Sleeper. Like I said, TPC is a man of the world, man. Lots of awesome experience. And he says, and I don't know if he wants me to, if he wanted me to mention this, or if he's going to appreciate me mention this. When he shares his experiences and knowledge, some people get a little put off. I told him to heck with that, man. That is what this channel and other channels and social media is all about. Sharing those experiences, sharing your knowledge, learning from each other. And if we all felt that way, then we might as well not be here. Keep sharing TPC. We appreciate it. Millennial, let me know. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And there's some faster ways. There's some tricks to caramelizing onions in less time. If you do what is called a true caramelizing of onions, you're talking 45 minutes to an hour. But you can speed that up, man, to 10, 25 minutes and really get a nicely flavored onion caramelization. I might do a video just on caramelizing onions. There are videos already out there, but I might throw my hat in the ring. I love I've never had I hope you meant Vidalia, like Vidalia, Georgia. Vidalia onions are awesome, but man, they're not easy to find. It's almost one of those things, when you find them, you got to buy the entire batch because you might not see them again for another 6 or 7 months. All right, look at Madwood. So Madwood's been around too. Terry's been around. Hey, that's Joe Everett's collab. That's Joe Everett's word right there. Well, good, Joe. Good that you got home safely, man. Rick. Wow. Now I know it's an honor because Rick is normally a lurker, but here he is today. Rick, this is the one, and you may not have checked in when I mentioned Use Guys. It's about a 10-minute drive from me, right outside of Randolph Air Force Base in Universal City. And they opened up some years ago, and I waited for the crowd to die down, the buzz to die down, and went in there with a couple of buddies for lunch and was highly disappointed. It was a sandwich, but the Use Guys kind of gave me that Philly feel, and I expected something more. And I just did not get it on that particular day, and I haven't been back. And I'm a firm believer, man, that you give restaurants, you give cooks a second chance, or even a third chance. But I have not gone back since. So my one experience with Use Guys I wasn't impressed. I need to go back though. I need to go back. But good to see you here, Rick. How have you been doing, man? How the Christmas and New Year treating you? All right, I will be looking for Cheese Whiz. Yeah, I will be looking for Cheese Whiz. Millennial type of beef that works best for cheesesteak. From everything I've heard and seen, ribeye. Ribeye. You know what they say, garbage in, garbage out. So once again, it's that old adage, man, you want to start with quality meat. And they say that you should be cooking this beef slower. Most of the time you hear when you're on that grill, you want it hot and fast. Well, hot and fast, they say, will dry it out. So you want it lower and slower. You want to slice that beef thin. So if you're using a ribeye, best thing to do is to uh, partially freeze that ribeye before slicing. That way you can get some nice thin slices that will cook up fairly quickly. You definitely do not want to trim all the fat off of that ribeye. All right, you do want some of that fat. So yes, you want a quality piece of ribeye. But man, I am telling you, there are probably some other meats that will do just as well. Like I said, I have found some Wagyu chuck steaks that I have cooked light steaks, and they've been absolutely perfect. They've been absolutely beautiful, tender, juicy. But those chuck steaks have a whole lot of marbling. They do have a whole lot of marbling. So I wouldn't try that with a regular chuck steak. But I can see a chuck steak, a Wagyu chuck steak, being used for steak sandwiches. Here's TPC. TPC says he played hammer jacks a few times. You're a musician as well? What instrument do you play, TPC? Joe, man, I am sipping on the last bit of cognac that a buddy of mine brought to the house Christmas Eve, man. And I might as well just go ahead and put this soldier out of his misery. Cognac is my go-to. You know, I'll drink whiskey, I'll drink bourbon, but given the choice, I will always come back to my cognac. Here's to you guys. Chicken fried. Hey, that'll make a great video. Hit me up. We'll talk collab. We'll talk collab. Cheesesteak collab. Oh, I'm sorry, Darnell. Steak and cheese collab. E&V, that's a little cognac. Here's to you, man, and welcome back. Hey, they say that apple cider is good for your prostate, Trumpet. I don't know how good that is. Let's see. Yeah, Brett, if you want to do it properly, it takes time. Like I said, there are tricks to doing it faster, but they're not traditional. You know, like adding sugar to speed up the browning process. Others add vinegar. When I do it, I'm not in a rush. So yes, I do take time. But that end product is well worth the work. G&G for chili dogs and chili burgers near Baltimore. I love chili burgers. Was just in California, man, and wasn't feeling 100%. So I really did not get my Tommy's chili burger. So I came back with a hole in my belly. Yeah. I don't know about that. But that's a crazy spelling. But that could be a song. Oh yeah, you did spell it wrong, but yeah, it's an onion, and it's a very nice onion when you can get it. Yeah, when you can get it. Hey, Sleeper, that was the name. That's the name of the steak and cheese restaurant in my local area. Use guys. Uh, and that's supposed to be a take on that old um, East Coast Philadelphia lingo. But that particular day, man, that steak and cheese sandwich was nothing like what I expected. Totally disappointed. It wasn't bad, but it was just a sandwich. It was just a sandwich. I didn't hear the founding fathers talking to me from Philly or anything. It was just a sandwich. Rick, I totally agree. And on that particular day, it was a miss. But I will go back and check them out. TPC, that video I dropped a few days ago with the bottom sirloin. I am just getting turned on to those two particular cuts. So I am very much in love with those. Now, where did I don't know, this is Mama's computer. I don't know anything about it, but what are you looking for? StreamYard just disappeared.
Uh-oh. Go down to the bottom.
Yeah, it just disappeared for no reason.
I still see you over there.
Yeah, you still see me?
Yeah. Go down and pull right there.
It just disappeared. I can't see anything.
You're still on though.
Yeah, I'm still on. All right. Man, that's weird. Yeah, that is weird. So both computers acting a fool.
Try that.
All right. We're back. We're back. Yes, top sirloin will work. Awesome piece of meat. Man, I thought, Darnell, about getting a Blackstone. But man, that's another piece of equipment I've got to find storage for. And those tend to be a little larger. So that'd be something else that I'll have to find storage for. The deck is at capacity. So anytime I think about bringing something new to the deck, I got to think about taking something off of the deck. The shed is at capacity. So right now, I've got my little Traeger Ranger. It's a little smaller, but it gets the job done. And it's got that griddle attachment that works very well. $114. Man, Wes, don't hesitate. You still have my phone number. You got all my contact info. Yeah, let's do lunch, man. We'll hit up Use Guys. Yeah, let's do that, Wes. TPC, bass, keyboard, and he sings. A little guitar, a little cello. All right, I can sing like a beast. All right, Mama, tell him. Oh yeah, she's over there shaking her head. You guys can't see it, but she is shaking her head in the affirmative. So I can sing, and I wish I'd picked up an instrument coming up. Yeah, I wish I had picked up an instrument coming up. But that's awesome, TPC. Well-rounded. All right, folks. If you're in here, man, hit that. Show me a little love. Show Mama a little love. Hit that thumbs up. $805. Mira, muy chingón. He's using filet mignon. All right. $805 is used filet mignon on his cheesesteak, and it comes out delicious. I don't see why it shouldn't. That is supposed to be an awesome piece of meat. Great question. Great question, Millennial. Great question. What is the type of bread? Now, I've heard a couple of different views on this particular topic, but great question. Some say that it should be some type of Italian bread with that crusty exterior and that soft interior. I love an Italian bread, but I like my Italian bread crusty on the outside, airy and light on the inside. I don't want that fluffy, soft, uh, uh, Subway type Italian bread. When I get a Subway sandwich, I ask them to pull that soft stuff out because it kind of gets gummy once all the moisture gets to it. So I ask them to pull that out. So when I get my Italian bread, like when Mom and I are doing a dish that calls for, or we want garlic bread as a side, I will go to my Gucci B on Broadway here in San Antonio, and I get their Italian bread, crusty on the outside but airy on the inside. I mean, you drop that on a griddle or on a grill, man, it crisp up. It maintains its composure regardless of what type of moisture hits it. So for me, that's going to be a great bread for a steak and cheese. Others would call for one of those hoagie rolls, which can be a little softer. They soak up that juice. They don't fall apart. So I think bread is going to be a personal preference. Yeah, bread is going to be a personal preference. My man, Stephen and Jacqueline, how are you guys doing? Good to have you, Stephen. Good to have you. As folks are creeping in, once again, man, some of you have become moderators. Others, for whatever reason, I don't understand it, your URL would not be accepted by the program. So don't worry. Don't think I forgot or didn't think of you. I would have loved to have everybody in here as a moderator, but some of your URLs just would not be accepted by the program. Thank you for those of you who are accepting that position. Hey, you know how I feel about that cebolla. Right? You know how I feel about that cebolla. I love it. I would do onions anyway. ENV, I don't see why flank. Well, first of all, it's going to have to be a pretty marbled flank steak. Yeah. It will have to be a pretty marbled flank steak. But I don't see why that doesn't work. And if anybody out there have not tried that dry brine, nothing difficult about it. And for me, when I'm dry brining a piece of meat, I think about how much salt would I put on this meat if I was going to season it and cook it right now. How much salt would I put on that piece of meat? Now, if I'm going to dry brine it, I'm going to take half of that total salt the day before and put it on both sides of that meat. So I'm taking half of the total salt I would use. Half the day before, put it on both sides of that meat and put it back in the refrigerator, uncovered. Or if you didn't want to put it uncovered, put a piece of paper towel over it. But you don't want to wrap it up or seal it or anything. And it would be best if you put it on a drying rack so that it's not sitting flat against that pan. And dry brining, that salt that you put on there dissolves into a moisture as it pulls moisture out of that piece of meat. And then that piece of meat over time slowly reabsorbs that moisture, taking the salt deeper within. And that really introduces that flavor deeper into the meat. Because that salt is there, now that salt is going to help to maintain, retain that moisture. and you'll get a much more moist and flavorful piece of meat. So dry brine really works. I can see that, EMV. TPC said a hoagie roll or French bread if necessary. Yes, I can do that. My man, EMV is on that hand. There you go. I've got a couple of bottles of that hand. Different levels upstairs. Yeah, I would love a Blackstone. I love what I see. Some of you guys with your videos of those Blackstones, you're out here doing the things I like to do. You know, the things I want to do. You're doing the fried rice, and you're doing these massive breakfasts and whatnot on the griddle top. Man, that's awesome. Yeah. So yes, that is something I would be interested in. Barbecue Man of Iowa. Barbecue Man, how close are you to TNT barbecue? I know Iowa is a state, and not everybody from a state know each other. Are you anywhere close to TNT? I didn't know they made a such a model, Darnell. I'll have to do a little research. Yeah, I'll have to do a little research. Ambrosia as a bread. Now, one of my wife's aunts, all right, one of my wife's aunts used to make me a dessert called ambrosia, but I've never heard of a bread called ambrosia. So we'll see. Wow. What do you think the hardest meat is to barbecue? That's going to be different from person to person, Barbecue Man. The hardest meat for me to barbecue, man. You know, if this was a competition question, I would say right now is chicken, because chickens have been kicking my butt. But if you're just talking about backyard, a piece of meat that's hard to barbecue, man, somebody help me out. And I'm not sitting here telling you I cook every piece of meat just absolutely perfect. But I just don't know that there's one that I really struggle with cooking. You know, from a competition standpoint, yeah, chicken right now. And it's not because I'm not cooking a very good chicken. It's just that some of these guys' chicken is just off the charts. So let's see what some of the folks have to say, Barbecue Man. EMB says we have a cheesesteak place in Mississippi. It sucks. I ordered my sandwich and the guy takes out pre-cooked meat from the fridge. All right, that's definitely a sign to back out. Yeah, that's definitely a sign to back out. Thanks, Millennial. I'm not a Sam's guy, ENV. What about Costco? Does Costco have anything like that? I'm a Costco man. And folks, I'm a mama's computer. So mama's replying as Mom and Papa Joe tonight. Barbecue Man is just trying He's just trying to play with my emotions tonight. What's the hardest meat you think there is to smoke? What's the hardest meat, Mama? What meat did I struggle with cooking?
You did an excellent hanger steak the other day, but do you think hanger steak or tri-tip?
Nah. Man.
Oh, I know. That whole salmon.
Hey, actually, yeah. Fish can be pretty hard. Whole fish. I do each time I've tried to do whole fish, I've kind of struggled. And if they're small, I don't struggle. But the larger the whole fish for me, the harder it is for me to get it done the way I want it done. And this was months ago. I bought a beautiful. No, Mama was down in Galveston. Mama was in Galveston, and I said, "Hey, look around and see if you can find a whole salmon." And Mama did. She probably paid $120. This might have been a 15, 16-pound whole salmon. Beautiful, beautiful fish. You know, it's already cleaned up and everything. She brings it home. It's packed in ice. I did a great job of packing it. And I figured, man, I'm gonna stuff this fish and cook it whole. I'm gonna smoke it, and just towards the end, I'm gonna crank up the heat to get that skin a little char because I'm just a fan of the char. And man, I made a spinach mushroom stuffing, and immediately that's probably where I went wrong because I was trying to get every last ounce of that stuffing into that salmon. Then I stitched it up, closed it up, man, put it on the trigger nice and pretty. Long story short, the outside was done long before the inside. Way too much stuffing. And it made for a terrible piece of fish. Trooper, my dog, absolutely appreciated the effort. So we vacuum sealed it, and man, we just included it in the dog's meals over the next month and a half or so. So that right now, if I was to say I struggle with something, it would probably be that piece of a large whole fish. I got to figure that out. Oh, absolutely, Stephen. Dry brine absolutely work. Chicken, it works for beef. It works for any piece of meat. It absolutely works for any piece of meat. I've done pork chops. I've done pork shoulders. You name it, it works. Wow. Have barbecue man, have you two hooked up? Have y'all bumped into each other? You know, dude, you're talking about a collab. You're talking about a live. Do that. That would be awesome. Oh, hell yeah. You go to his house. Well, excuse me. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, that is pretty cool. I don't know how close I am. I know where Dogfather. I know the town Dogfather is in, Pflugerville. That's probably what, half an hour? No, 45 minutes to an hour from me. I don't know where James is. Aiming and claiming. But we've got a few, but they're not in the immediate area. But if they were, I would have hooked up with them by now. Trumpet says camel meat is challenging. Yeah, you got to get over that hump. Nah. Don't tell me that wasn't funny. I'm funny as hell. Let's see. Hey, you know I'm past my time, folks. Yeah. 805 says he struggled with brisket with no bark. Man, 805, a bark is all about your rubs. A bark is all about your rubs and then that smoke. So I don't know exactly what you're doing, but I mean, what works for me, man, I like a little more than black pepper and salt. I would throw in some garlic and some onion. And if you can get not granulated garlic, but minced garlic, and then grind it down to the size of your black pepper, 16 mesh, it really, really creates a great bark. It really creates a great bark. And the thing is, you season the meat with that, with those 4 ingredients, man. Let it build a nice sweat and put it on that grill. You will go for 3, maybe 3.5, 4 hours based on the pit before you start spritzing. You don't want to start spritzing too early. And once you start spritzing, you're going to be looking at spritzing every 45 minutes to an hour or so. I'm not a fan of that quick spritz every half an hour, opening and closing it. No, 45 minutes to an hour. And I might only do 2, sometimes 3, until I'm satisfied with that color and my brisket is pretty much stopped oozing, stopped weeping, starting to really dry out. All right, if your brisket is still, every time you open it, your brisket is still wet, it's not time to wrap because your bark isn't yet set. Your bark isn't yet set. But once that brisket, man, has stopped oozing, the thing is, a brisket is about 70% water. Brisket is about 70% water. I don't know if you've thought of this, folks. A brisket is about 70% water. And so you're going to have to remove, during the cook, you're going to have to remove about, give or take, 15 to 20% of that water during that cook. And it's not until that water is finished, man, that brisket is going to reach that tenderness. That bark is going to be set. If you wrap that brisket while it's still weeping, still wet on the outside, that bark will never set. Trumpet. For whatever reason, I'm just not believing that you've had a lion steak. All right, I'm just not believing you. Dude, that is cool, man. Fire with chicken. All right, ask TNT. He likes my chicken. You only did 1 brisket and it was good. There you go. Millennial, I don't know what Mama said, but she never hits anything on the head. What did you say, Mama?
About what?
I don't know. Millennial said you hit the nail on the head. What's the last thing you said?
I don't know.
Trumpet, I know you and Leander because when we did the VFW cooking, Leander, I gave you a heads up for you to come out, and you found some sort of excuse to come hang out for a bit. Barbecue man, I love fish on the grill. I make awesome salmon fillets. I've done redfish on the half shell. 9 times out of 10, my fish is awesome. Even whole fish if they're smaller. But if I'm doing a large fish, whole, I've yet to have it come out the way I want it. Edible, yes, but not the way I want it. Yeah, not the way I want it. ENV, thank you so much. Much appreciated, ENV. Much appreciated donation. So Trumpet, the next time I come to Leander, man, for that VFW cook-off, I will give you a heads up again, and let's see if we can hook up, man. Have a couple of brews.
He was sick last time.
Yeah. Oh, you might have been sick. Yeah, Mama said you might have been sick that last time. Thank you so much, Sleeper. All right, Madwood is having laptop issues. I know the feeling. Trumpet never spritz his brisket. Dude, I love spritzing my brisket with a little beef stock and a little Maggie. You know me and that Maggie. All right? That Maggie is waggy. That Maggie gets it done. I'm your man, 805. Holler at me. Yeah, COVID, that's exactly what Mama said, that you might have been sick with the vid. EMV, Mom and I have a, and this was pre-YouTube. Mom and I did homemade pizza on our Traeger, and absolutely delicious. I'm talking everything from scratch. Mama made the dough the whole 9 yards. The only thing we didn't make was the pepperoni, because I just don't know how to make pepperoni. Yeah, D, we kind of got that. Yes, sir. Guys, I have gone 17 minutes over. Man, we absolutely appreciate it. I am caught up. ENV, I'm going to head over right now, man, when I get off of here and check out some of your latest video. Like I said, you went dark on me. And I will make that happen. Folks, it's been another awesome evening, man. Thank you guys for your contribution to the conversation. We absolutely appreciate it. If you haven't yet hit that thumbs up, it's not difficult. Just knock it out. Show us a little love, man. Let us know that you appreciate everybody. You appreciate everybody's input. Trumpet, I totally agree, man. You know, I know lots of I'm getting friends that are getting it, and thank goodness they're vaccinated, so they're not having hard times with it. I know you had a difficult time, but I told Mama just recently that at some point, you know, even with all the precautions we take, because we know when to mask up and when to relax a little bit. So we will have our mask with us, and when we feel threatened, now when we get in large crowds, man, when we get in people that we don't know, we definitely, I don't hesitate to put a mask on. And you can look at me any kind of way you want to. I just don't care. You know, I just don't care. I'm going to put my mask on. And so for right now, we've been fortunate. But I told Mama, you know, she's an educator. She's in the classroom with kids. She's in professional development with peers and coworkers. I said, at some point, I think one of us is going to bring it home. And when that time comes, we're vaccinated, and hopefully it will be of the mild variety, and we'll get over it in a few days. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Folks, I want to really tell you guys once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much, man, for the love you guys show Mama and Papa Joe. We appreciate it. And I would love to see all of you right back here next Thursday. Be on the lookout for another video come Tuesday or Wednesday. Steak and cheese, Darnell. Cheesesteak, Papa Joe style. I want you guys to take care of yourselves. Have a great evening, and we will see you when we see you.